In 2023, a massive Amazon river dried up completely. Wooden boats sat hopelessly stranded on deep, cracked mud. Remote villages suddenly lost all connection to the outside world. But this disaster was not an isolated freak accident. It was the symptom of a single, massive climate event happening 8,000 miles away in the Pacific Ocean. We call this planetary phenomenon El Niño. A standard El Niño returns every 2 to 7 years. It is a natural shifting of winds and ocean currents. But sometimes this routine cycle transforms into something incredibly dangerous. These super events unleash chaos, pushing temperatures to record-breaking heights. They temporarily fast-forward global warming, showing a terrifying future. But this destruction raises a very uncomfortable, urgent question. If it is natural, why are modern events so destructive? Is this a natural disaster or a man-made climate crisis? For decades, we measured the damage the obvious way. A washed-out bridge here, a failed harvest there. But the extreme weather actually acts like a slow, invisible leak. In 1877, a massive El Niño triggered global famines. Millions perished across the globe, but humanity had no idea what was happening. A recent Dartmouth College study calculated the modern risk. A Super El Niño doesn't just destroy buildings, it stunts global economic growth for up to 14 years. Once you account for that long tail, the average El Niño costs the global economy $3.4 trillion, and that cost is not shared equally. Wealthy, temperate nations in the global north feel El Niño mostly as a shift in the weather. These shifts cause real damage, but these countries have diversified economies, deep financial markets, and insurance systems built to absorb the shock. Lower-income, tropical nations in the global south face something else entirely. When a Super El Niño brings drought to Southeast Asia or floods to the Andean coast, it doesn't just cause damage, it guts the agricultural sectors entire national economies are built on. In the years following a major event, countries like Peru, Ecuador, Indonesia, and several nations across tropical Africa have seen their GDP permanently depressed by more than 10%. The wealthiest half of the world produces the overwhelming majority of global greenhouse emissions. The poorest half absorbs the overwhelming majority of the damage. Human greenhouse gas emissions have added a permanent layer of heat to the planet's oceans. So when a natural El Niño forms today, it launches from an ocean that is already running dangerously hot. Nations that built wealth by burning fossil fuels hold an outsized share of responsibility for the recovery. By combining satellite data with deep ocean sensors, scientists can now predict these events months in advance. This allows vulnerable regions to stockpile resources and reinforce their infrastructure before the storm hits. So a farmer in East Africa has months of warning before a drought arrives, not days. Rapidly growing nations still need to build climate-resilient infrastructure and stronger local food reserves. That could look like real investment in climate adaptation and disaster preparedness. We can't stop the Pacific from breathing. El Niño is a fundamental part of how this planet works. We may not be able to cool the Pacific Ocean overnight, but we can build a world that withstands its heat. Because in the end, the most powerful tool we have against climate chaos is preparation. But the extra heat we've added, that part is on us. And it is the one part of this story we still have the power to change.